Hello everyone! Welcome again to another edition of Storytime with Robbie. Hope you're all doing well and having an amazing day so far. Today we are continuing with the Christmas themed books, and so today I'm going to be reading you Arthur's Christmas by Mark Brown. And I will be reading you Christmas in the Barn by Margaret Wise Brown. And I will be reading you Fox and Squirrel, The Best Christmas Ever by Ruth Oy. And I will be reading you The Berenstain Bears Night Before Christmas by Mike Berenstain. Hope you enjoy. Let's get started. Alrighty, everybody. The first Christmas themed book I'm going to read you today is Arthur's Christmas by Mark Brown. Here we go. Arthur and D.W. had been in the drugstore a long time. For heaven's sake, D.W. said, "This store is full of presents. Pick one and let's go." "Gifts. It has to be just right," said Arthur. "I want Santa to like it." "Well, hurry up," said D.W. "I want to get home and see if Grandpa's there and how many presents she brought me. To see if Grandma's there and see how many presents she brought me." At home, D.W. added 10 more things she wanted to her Christmas list and copied it over in red pencil. Arthur and D.W. cheered when they heard the car in the driveway. "Grandma, are there presents in there for me?" asked D.W. "Grandma, do you think Santa would like new mittens or gloves?" asked Arthur. Whatever happened to "Hello, I'm glad to see you," asked Grandma Thora. After dinner, everyone relaxed. "Look," said D.W. "I teached Killer a trick." Said Grandma. "You taught Killer a trick?" But D.W. didn't hear. She had seen something on television to add to her list. "Arthur, what's the matter?" asked Grandma. "I haven't found the right gift for Santa," said Arthur. "Only 2 shopping days left," reminded D.W. The next day, Arthur, D.W. and their friends went shopping. Killer went too. Arthur searched the entire store and still couldn't find the perfect gift for Santa. "What's the big problem?" asked D.W. "I can't see 100 things. I can see 100 things I want. Let's tell Santa." "Santa, what would you like for Christmas?" asked Arthur. "Ho, ho, ho," laughed Santa. You just leave the giving to me." D.W. had her picture taken, patting Santa's tummy. Buster was next. "Santa, be careful coming down the chimney at our house. My parents always forget to put out the fire." "Ho, ho, ho," said Santa. "Don't worry, I'll use the front door." Then it was Francine's turn. "Have you been a good little girl?" asked Santa. "Oh yes," smiled Francine. "I'm always good." "Always?" asked Santa. Toyland. Afterward, Buster treated them all to ice cream. Arthur could hardly finish his root beer float. He had only one more shopping day. Look, said Francine, Santa eats ice cream. I'll have a banana split with 6 scoops of bubble gum ice cream, said Santa, with double hot fudge, whipped cream, and nuts. I'll say he eats ice cream, said D.W. At home, Arthur asked his family for help. How about a nice colorful tie, said Father. Aftershave is always a good gift, said Mother. I bet Santa could use some toasty, warm long johns, said Grandma. Arthur, you're taking this shopping too seriously, said D.W. Just do what I do. Get everyone the same thing. That afternoon, everyone was getting ready to go caroling, but Arthur didn't have time for Christmas carols. Time was running out. Please come along, begged D.W. I'll be the only kid, and besides, Mrs. Tibble always gives us a present and hot chocolate. Arthur went window shopping instead, hoping that would give him an idea for Santa's present. Santa was ho-ho-hoing and drinking a diet root beer at the car wash. Moments later, Santa was at the Golden Chopstick eating sub-gum chow-goo. Santa must have run to the deli at the corner of North and Main. The waitress shouted Santa's order to the cook. Catch a fish, hit it with rye, and put a pair of shoes on it. Santa sure eats a lot, thought Arthur. Finally, Arthur went home. He hadn't seen a single thing in any of the store windows he had thought Santa would like. Santa was on TV eating Papa Piper's pickled peppers. That's it, said Arthur. He started making his list. Arthur counted his money. D.W., he said in his sweetest voice. Okay, how much do you need? Asked D.W., but only if you promise to stop being such a grouch. The next morning, Arthur gave D.W. half of his list. He took the other half. D.W. had to keep Killer out of the kitchen while Arthur made Santa's present. What's all that noise? Asked Arthur. Arthur is making a mess, reported D.W. The kitchen door opened and Arthur sneezed. Mom, how many cups of pepper and pickled peppers? He asked. Maybe I should help, said Mother. No, please, said Arthur. I want to make Santa's present myself. Just tell me how many sticks of gum and sub-gum chew gum. Poor Santa, said D.W. Hours later, Arthur whistled while he set the table for Santa. What's that? Asked Father. Pickled peppers? A hot fudge sundae on bubble gum ice cream and sub-gum chow-goo? I sort of combined Santa's favorite foods, Arthur exclaimed. What's the big lumpy thing that's moving? Asked Grandma. A pizza to go, said Arthur. With everything on it, if you want Santa to come, you better go to bed, said Mother. If we want Santa to come, thought D.W., we better do something about that food. D.W. couldn't fall asleep. I have to do something, she thought. Poor Arthur worked so hard, but if Santa gets one whiff of Arthur's present, he'll never set foot in the dining room, much less eat any of it. Careful to miss the squeaky step, D.W. tiptoed down the stairs in the dark. The next morning, Arthur was the first one up. Santa ate it all, he cried, and he left a note. Dear Arthur, you were so nice to take the time to find out my favorite foods and make them. Thank you. You also teach me about the Christmas spirit. Love, Santa. P.S. Aren't you lucky to have such a nice sister? A nice little sister. The end. Alrighty, everybody. The second story I'm going to read today is Christmas in the Barn by Margaret Wise Brown. Here we go. In a big warm barn in the ancient field, the oxen lowed, the donkey squealed, the horses stomped, the cattle sighed, and quietly the daylight died in the sunset of the west, and a star rose brighter than all the stars in the sky. The field mice scampered in the hay, and two people who had lost their way walked into the barn at the end of the day. And they were allowed to sleep in the hay because there was no room in the inn. The mice rustled in the sweet dry grass near the lambs and the kine and the ox and the ass. The horses pawed the golden straw. The little donkey brayed, hee-haw. And they were all safe and warm all together in the ancient barn. When Bale, the first wail of a newborn babe, reached the night where one great star was burning bright, and shepherds with their sheep are come to watch him sleep. What child is this who is born here, where the oxen stomp and peer, away in a manger, no crib for his bed? What child is this who lays down his sweet head? In the big warm barn in the ancient field, the little child sleeps, the donkey squeals, and the star goes down. Yet the wise men stay to see the dawning Christmas day. The child was sleeping in the hay, and there they were, all safe and warm, all together in the ancient barn. The end. Alrighty, everybody. The second story I'm going to read you today, or the third story I'm going to read you today, is Fox and Squirrel, the best Christmas ever. Here we go. Snow, said Fox. This will be the best Christmas ever, Squirrel agreed. There will be a party with presents, said Squirrel. There will be red and green. There will be fancy food. Come and play, said Fox. No, said Squirrel, I'm making the best Christmas ever. I can help, said Fox. No, said Squirrel, don't touch. You'll ruin it. I won't ruin it, whispered Fox. But Squirrel was off to find more Christmas. Deep in the forest, Squirrel found more red. Squirrel found more green. But Squirrel could not find the way back. Uh-oh, said Squirrel. Look what I found, said Fox. I'm sorry, I yelled Squirrel. That's okay, said Fox. Let's go home. Walking along, they hummed a tune. Fox hummed low, Squirrel hummed high. And once in a while, they would meet in the middle. You tell the best stories, said Squirrel, and you're an excellent dancer, said Fox. Work home, said Squirrel. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas, said Fox. And it was the end. Hey everybody, the fourth story I'm going to read today is The Night Before Christmas. Or The Berenstain Bears Night Before Christmas by Mike Berenstain. Here we go. It was Christmas Eve in the Bears family's treehouse, and there were more than ready for a visit from Santa Claus. Their tree was beautifully decorated. Their stockings were carefully hung by the fireplace. Brother, sister, and honey even put out a snack of milk and cookies for Santa. Good idea, said Papa. Sliding down chimneys is hard work. Old St. Nicholas will be hungry. St. Nicholas, said Brother. Who's he? That's an old name for Santa Claus, exclaimed Mama. Or he was just called St. Nick. St. Nick, repeated Sister. That's cute. There's a famous old poem about him, said Papa, getting a dusty book down from the shelf. Let's read it together. Actually, said Brother, we're planning to watch the Nutty Bears Meet Santa Claus on TV. It's our Christmas Eve tradition, the Nutty Bears. Mama didn't think the Nutty Bears were very Christmassy. All they did was hit one another over the head. I think it's time to start a new Christmas Eve tradition, she said firmly. TV isn't everything. There's such a thing as a plain old-fashioned book. Papa opened the book and the cubs saw its brightly colored pictures. It looked pretty interesting. Go ahead and read it, Papa, said Sister. So Papa began to read A Visit from St. Nicholas. Visit from St. Nicholas. Tis was the night before Christmas, when all through the house not a creature was stirring, not even a mouse. The stockings were hung by the chimney with care in hopes that St. Nicholas soon would be there. The children were nestled all snug in their beds, while visions of sugar plums danced in their heads, and Mama in her handkerchief and I in my cap had just settled our brains for a long winter's nap. When out on the lawn there arose such a clatter. I sprang from the bed to see what was the matter. Away the window I flew like a flash, tore open the slutters, and threw up the slash, when what to my wondering eyes should appear but a miniature sleigh and 8 teeny reindeer, with a little old driver so lively and quick, I knew in a moment it must be St. Nick. More rapid than eagles and his coursers, they come, and he whistled and shouted and called them by name. Now Dasher, now Dancer, now Prancer and Vixen, on Comet, on Cupid, on Donder and Blitzen, and then in a twinkling, I heard on the roof the prancing and the pawing of each little hoof. As I drew in my head was turning around down the chimney, St. Nicholas came with a bound, a bundle of toys he had flung on his back, and he looked like a peddler just opening his pack. His eyes, how they twinkled, his dimples, how merry, his cheeks were like roses, his nose like a cherry. He had a broad face and a little round belly that shook when he laughed like a mouthful of jelly. He spoke not a word, but went straight to his work and filled all the stockings, then turned with a jerk and laying his finger aside of his nose and giving a nod up the chimney, he rose. He sprang to his sleigh, to his team, gave a whistle, and away they all flew like the dawn of a thistle. But I heard him exclaim, ere he drove out of sight, "Happy Christmas to all, and to all a good night." Papa closed the book. "Well, how did you all like a visit from St. Nicholas?" he asked. "Shh," said Mama. The cubs were all asleep. Papa and Mama carried the cubs upstairs and nestled them down all snug in their beds. "Sometimes," said Mama, as they kissed the cubs goodnight, "there's just nothing like a good book." They went to bed themselves and settled down for a long winter's nap. The Bear family was ready for their own visit from St. Nicholas. Happy Christmas to all, and to all a good night. The end. Alrighty, everybody. Really hope you enjoyed the Christmas-themed books and today that I read. Please comment on the video as always and let me know what you think of the picks. I always like to hear your feedback and let me know what your favorite book was that I read today. Have an extraordinary good rest of your day, and I will see you here on the next edition of Story Time with Robbie. Until then, sayonara.